Where did those go?
Allie, what's wrong?
I'm trying to find these sketch pages I made of these really cool monsters, but now I can't find it. Guys, get your heads out of your books. I think we're live.
What, live right now?
Really?
Well, you can't even see me on the camera, so.
Oh no!
How would you even know? How would you even know that I was there? Whoa! Hello! Hi, everybody. We boggled you, didn't we? We boggled you. Hello, and welcome to My Singing Monsters, your one-stop shop for everything to do with My Singing Monsters. We are your hosts, Monster Handler Matt.
Monster Handler Jen.
And Monster Handler Ben.
See, now, as the odd monster handler out, in that my name doesn't rhyme with yours, I feel like I should assume a new identity. Perhaps Monster Handler Ren. So we can go Ren, Jen, Ben, or something.
I like that. That rolls off the tongue.
It does, but
Yeah.
maybe sometimes there's beauty in asymmetry as
True.
well. There's Jen and Ben and Matt. Welcome to this special August 2023 episode of My Sing Monsters Live, during which we will be discussing all things to do with Mind Boggle, our brand new seasonal event, which aligns pretty nicely, pretty closely with the start of school for a lot of folks around the world, specifically our folks in the United States of America. You may have noticed us enjoying some nice light reading here at the beginning. I've got the My Sing Monsters Search and Find. There's downloaded. There's some lesson plans there from our teaching guide, grades 1 through 3. You know, speaking of Search and Find, these are very hard to find. These books are from a very limited run of printing all the way back in, well, it's almost about 10 years ago now.
We didn't even know we had them.
I know. This is why Monster Handler Matt is valuable to have kicking around. I produced these as if from a magic satchel. But never mind those. Never mind those. We got to talk. Reading can come later.
We got lots to talk
We got lots of stuff to talk about on the show today, namely Mind Boggle, as many of our astute handler helpers correctly
They
identified.
were maybe a little psychic.
Whoa, you're absolutely right. Mind blown. Yes, many had correctly predicted that Psychic Island would be the home island of the bookworm seasonal monster. Now, I don't know if either of you knew this, but bookworm is kind of the, I don't want to call it lazy, but it's the casual, it's the vernacular way of saying bookworm, but there's actually an official correct pronunciation for bookworm. Would you like to try it with me now?
All right.
Here we go. It is bookworm.
I can't roll my
Okay.
words. I'm sorry.
Bookworm.
Very good, Jen. Very good.
Horrific.
And the first, no, it was great. It was great. This was actually a clue that we'd planted basically all the way back when Bookworm first came out. Bookworm. Because it bears a lot of similarity to the Titan of Psychic Island, Krovleft, in the sense that it has an apostrophicized name.
That's how you pronounce it.
There you go. There you go. So we sort of laid that breadcrumb trail all the way back then, and then of course, folks sort of put the pieces together based on our anniversary month sales from last year. They've been referring to those along the way and checking back to see, do they all match up? Yes, they do. And so, with the launch of Mind Boggle, we now have homes for all of our seasonal monsters.
I'm so glad they all found their home.
Me too. I think it's really nice, and of course, it's nice to think of Jamboree as well, who's looking forward to Anniversary Month next month as all of the seasonals arrive from their various migratory routes and party on seasonal shanty as they make their brief forays to their respective islands over the course of September. So I think Jamboree is very much looking forward to Anniversary Month, just like we are.
As long as the seasonals don't leave a mess like they did last year.
Yes.
I remember.
You've got to clean up after yourselves. That's an important part of any sort of experience. a real page turner video came out today. Sort of a part 2 to our Story in the Stars Celestial Ascension one. Yes.
Great ending.
It's almost as if you could blend them together into one continuous running narrative.
It's almost as if that's how it was
Right, that's how it was originally planned. Kind of.
in the before time.
But I think in keeping with the idea of books and of volumes, there was volume 1 and volume 2, and they were released at separate times to maximize excitement and enjoyment of both. Now,
Correct.
some of you might be wondering as well, especially you at home, what's going on with my shirt here. I've got a hashtag Team Air shirt, and you're like, what? What is that?
Is that a callback from last week's My Singing Monsters Live?
Oh, well, I don't know, Jen. Did we have a My Singing Monsters Live last week?
Bah! No, we didn't. We had a deep
But we
dive.
kind of did. We kind of did. That was our first. That was our first boggle.
That's
right.
right,
That's
that's
when we
right.
boggled them.
We mind
for the,
boggled
for
boggled.
the first time. Oh my gosh.
You mind boggled
the
yourself.
boggling on the boggling is totally wild. But no, you're absolutely right. It is a callback to when Psychic Island was first revealed, all the way back during Anniversary Month 2019. A couple monster handlers and I were each represented. We were each the representatives of a fourth and final element for Psychic Island back when it was known as Fire Frontier, and when we didn't know what the remaining element was going to be. We had plant, we had water, we had fire. What was it going to be? Was it going to be air? Was it going to be cold? Was it going to be earth? I was Team Air, which meant that I was repping, I believe, by Sonorous was going to be my quad. But as we now know, that was a mind boggle of
Right.
its own all the way back then, because then that was our play your part contest, and then we revealed the psychic element for the first time. So I thought it would be fitting to take this out of the mothballs that it found itself in over the past couple of years, and to wear it on this episode as we celebrate a brand new seasonal event for Psychic Island.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So did
Pretty
I launder it in that time? Yeah, it's fine.
That's what
It's totally fine. It's
Yeah.
hey,
I
watch
was
it.
wondering.
You know what? It would be in keeping with the general spirit of Mind Boggle, which of course, draws from all sorts of interesting sort of cosmic imagery, right? Okay, perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's launch in and take a look and see what sorts of things were part of today's seasonal event launch in My Singing Monsters. David, if you would.
Excited.
Let's do it.
Aha! Here we go. Our last seasonal event, our last new seasonal event of anniversary year, Mind Boggle, the bookworm. Available to buy or breed at level 9 for a limited time on the following islands. It's on Psychic Island, of course, and it's discounted for the duration of Mind Boggle on Seasonal Shanty.
Look how happy Bookworm is with all its books.
At home, right?
Right? Fits
Totally.
right in.
Exactly. Totally in its milieu, in its habitat, right? But, and speaking of its habitat, let's take a look at the beautiful island skin for Psychic Island. Lots of bookcases and codices and different brain teasers and puzzles abound. And of course, like all of our island skins, they come with boosts. So not only is there the beautiful visuals, but you also get 10% faster breeding, 10% faster baking as well. And then their obstacles with their seasonal appearance can preserve that seasonal appearance. And as is the case,
makeover.
I know, I think it's beautiful, as is the case with all the other ones as well. You can elect to buy it with your diamonds to own it forever and be able to activate and deactivate it to your heart's content, or you can get the specially priced Mind Boggle Island Skin Pack that also comes with bonus diamonds. Really, it's a great deal for what you're getting. That permanent boost unlocked on this island.
Well, I think
forever.
I'm going to have to do that because this is easily my favorite island skin so
Oh,
far.
isn't that nice?
I love it.
Well,
I love it.
I'm so glad. I'll have to pass along that compliment to our Monster Handler art team. What's next? If you wanted to decorate even further, we've got these wonderful Mind Boggle themed Psychic Island obstacle decorations locked in their seasonal appearance. These are completely independent of whatever's going on with the island skin. You could buy these directly from the decorations market. And I think these ones are quite humorous.
Yeah.
Personally, I especially like the fact that there are so many seeing eye implements on
Yep.
those brains,
Yep.
and they don't seemingly have any eyes. So maybe maybe they bypass the optic nerve
It just
entirely.
goes right into the part of the brain.
Right into the straight to
Yeah.
dome. Yes, it's right in there, and you can see different books strewn open as well as the many eyes of Krovlaft take in all that there is to read inside. Aren't books wonderful?
I bet they're
Yeah.
really smart.
I don't read as much as I should.
No, me
No.
neither.
I should get back into it. And perhaps Mind Boggle is the perfect time to pick up a good book and disappear into a magical world.
It's a great idea.
Another update to Psychic Island is, of course, Dipsters being available to buy at level 10 for 6 keys apiece on this island. This is the last of the 4 magical islands to receive its Dipsters.
And look how
Yeah.
happy they are to be there.
Oh, they're
They
absolutely thrilled, and they figured prominently in helping to recover Bookworm's missing page
Yep.
during the Real Page Turner trailer. I knew that Monster Handler Alley's sketchbook page there, which contained amazing sketches, went somewhere.
Yeah.
It clearly passed through some kind of wormhole
Yeah.
into Psychic Island just in time for Mind Boggle. So
Must have got lost in the portal when she was on her way back.
absolutely,
Oh.
yeah. So
Dropped it.
Yeah.
in a sense, that's sort of a little mini entry in Monster Handler Alley's exploratory compendium of monstrology segment on our YouTube channel. So there you go. You get a little one for free if you watch the trailer.
We take those.
We do.
Wait.
We take those.
And what fantastical creatures was Monster Handler Alley sketching? Well, one of them was the rare Bisonorous, available to evolve using keys, relics, and the power of the Crucible on Amber Island.
I love the really colorful plumes coming off.
As do I, and it's an
Yeah.
easy thing to forget about when you compare it against the common Bisonorous. But I love the brand new tail, that big fatty tail that's
Yes.
perched there behind the standard Bisonorous, and I love the Emperor Bisonorous's antlers. I think those are absolutely beautiful.
Just the kind of muted blue shade. That's a nice.
Yes,
really
very
nice shade.
pleasing tones on this rare Bisonorous. I
Yes.
think it's very, and I like its sort of teardrop shaped
Yes.
eyelids on the standard there as well. Lots to enjoy about this awesome rare. You know what's cool is that this is also the final rare quad on Amber Island
Wow.
that needed to be discovered. We now have all of the Fire Rare quads available on Amber Island that began all the way back in December of last year with Rare Yelmet.
Well, what
the
a
very
great
first
day
ones.
for
And
this to appear.
Now we've discovered them all. Very cool, very cool. The other exciting thing, this one perhaps a little less on the aesthetically pleasing side, but still very intriguing side, is the rare Crepuscule, available to evolve using 7 keys and Zapdos eggs at level 13 on Wublin Island. I said it before, and there seems to be some sort of truth to this as well, that the theming around these various rare Wublins connects in some way to the time of year around which they're released. When Rare Crepuscule finally takes its full form, you can see the edges there of its green limbs, but it kind of looks like a tropical fruit, and
It
there's no better
does.
time than the stog days of summer that we're in right now to enjoy such a tropical fruit. So I think Webbox is onto something.
Absolutely.
In the timing of that particular release. So that's some exciting stuff. That's sort of phase one of what is happening today. As per usual on these episodes of My Sing Monsters Live, we're going to be doing a first look at some of the special offers and promotions that are coming starting tomorrow for the first weekend of Mind Boggle. But before we get to that a little bit later in the show, why don't we switch it up a little bit? Why don't we do some some questions?
Oh!
Question and answer.
Well, we sure didn't do any
something like
questions
that.
in last week's deep dive.
No,
So,
and
we've got
so
some making up to do.
yes, we're due now. Of course, we pre-selected some that we pulled from across the various interwebs, but I believe Monster Handler Ali is diligently waiting
Yes.
and looking through the comments and the chat for other questions that you may
Yes,
have
she is.
about what's going on.
So emotes in the chat for Monster Handler Alley.
Yes, I always forget how much of a deep neckline there is on this shirt. I'll just try and look a little bit less beachy. I know
Well,
because
it
I
is
was very
the
beachy.
dog days of summer.
Yes, you're right, and
Yes.
I was very beachy on our 3.9.4 showcase last week. So I'm trying to go for a different vibe here, but we'll just keep it casual, right?
Let's keep it cash.
Keep it cash for
All
Team
right.
Air.
Well, while we're keeping it cash, let's get into our first question
Okay.
from Literally Souza. And it's very much related to today's update. How does a bookworm's hand pads absorb information from their books? Does the knowledge get transferred to the brain like the nervous system? Or is there another way of it happening? It's a great question.
An excellent question. Now, Bookworm, as an appreciator of all things cerebral, intellectual, book learning stuff, is actually very forthcoming with this information. You know, sometimes when we have these kinds of questions in the past, we go, it's kind of rude to go up to a monster and go, hey, how does this work? You want to be respectful. You want to sort of preserve some of the mystery. But Bookworm actually is totally forthright with this. You'd think that it has to do with absorption into the nervous system, but it's actually a combination of basically like projecting a low-grade X-ray image down into the book. They're very quick, sort of like a camera flash, and that's why it's best manipulated when it's striking its book as so. Here, I'll do a demonstration for you. I'll try not to balance. There you go.
Wow.
But
Did you learn something?
no, tragically, these hands are just for hand modeling. They're not for absorbing the information of books, a skill unique to the bookworm. And there's the X-ray combination there, so it takes these quick sort of images, and then that's paired with like an eidetic memory that the bookworm has. In which it's able to basically recall and preserve all that information really, really cleanly. So it's
Wow.
it's the pairing of those two ideas. And you know, X-rays, deep space, psychic island. There's some sort of similar vibes and energy going on there.
Now, does that mean the bookworm has a photographic memory?
I would say so.
Wow.
I would say so. Where it, but notably, it has to work in combination with tactile, with tactility.
Of
So it
course.
can't just, so maybe, I don't know, I can't remember what the exact definition of a photographic memory is, but if it's purely based on sight alone, it is, but those images have to come from the
hands.
X-ray
Okay.
pads.
Wow.
Right?
That's fascinating.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. So there you go.
Wow.
Hopefully, literally, Sousa, that answers your question.
All right. On to the next question from
Okay.
Mwahaha 1381. If the Colossals created monsters using bubblerite, were the monsters they created the ones we see today, or ancestors of them?
An excellent question, Mwahaha 1381. I will call your attention to a sequence actually from today's video, our trailer, in which Bookworm is looking inside of its book. Now, last year when Mind Boggle came out for the first time and you could see the Mind Boggle elemental sigil for the first time, people were peering and looking, going, I can't make out exactly what it says. There were a lot of really good guesses, but we figured, this year we might as well show the contents of that book that appears in the Mind Boggle
Interesting.
sigil. And I have a copy of the contents of that because it relates. It relates to the answer to the question. So I'll just do a reading. This, of course, is Dr. Warden E. Spurt's journal, but it has been transcribed inside of it for ease of use. Here we go. The evolution of monsters is believed to have started millions of years ago. Once there was a single island called the continent. It was the core of the monster world for many generations. As the years passed, the monsters began to lose their love of music. It is believed a mysterious entity began to steal the monsters' music. A small group of monsters left the continent to try and that's the entire excerpt that we have visible just from that particular page. Now, there's the image of the sky ship.
I did
there
see that.
in the book, and that was visible as of last year, but sort of expanded upon this year when we realized that the sky ship is how Bookworm gets around.
Yeah.
It's Hula has its sailboat. Yule travels by comet. Schmoochel can fly. Blabbit has its bubble. Bookworm has the skyship, which works beautifully as
Very
a bus.
resourceful.
As a bus as well. Yes. So to answer the question of are they the exact same monsters from when the Colossals first made them? No. There have been many generations of these monsters throughout history. Monsters are exceptionally long-lived, and monsters can basically sort of decide when they've had enough and then want to shuffle off the mortal coil and join the beat hereafter and the heartbeat of forever. But no, they're not the exact same monsters. Some monsters, like I said, are incredibly long-lived, but no, there have been multiple generations. And generations, of course, ding, as a buzzword, as a keyword as well, was one of the working names for Dawn of Fire back when it was during development. So it's fun to pepper that word in whenever we can, just as a little Easter egg, an extravaganza egg for ourselves.
Perfect.
So there you go.
Great question. Mwahaha.
Mwahaha.
Well, from Snizy Wisey,
Oh, I like that name
we
too.
have, are Screamo's branch-like things on its back attached to it, or does it just somehow wear them? I always thought it would be uncomfortable to have literal branches coming out of my back.
You know what? It is uncomfortable, and that's how Scream do.
That sounds like a Screamo thing to do.
Right? Doesn't it kind
Yeah.
of feel like it's on brand? It's in character for Scream I think.
Yes.
Recall, of course, that the Wubblins are like basically works of art that the Wubbox has created and been like, I think I'll give that life, spark of life. And so what began as just sort of an amalgam of different design features ends up becoming this living animate thing. And it's got branches sticking out of its back. Now, it makes the most of it, of course, by dangling those differently colored ribbons off of it, just to sort of spice up its appearance a
Like
little bit.
decorative.
Exactly. It's sort of it's kind of a muted color, and so it has the paint splotches. It's got the ribbons, so it tries to enliven things a little bit. Hopefully that answers the question.
I
think so.
That makes sense?
It's not painful though for this.
No.
Scream.
I would
No,
hope-
no.
I would hope
I mean,
not.
is it hard sometimes to itch that spot
Ooh.
a little bit? But Wubblins are friendly. You can just
just
ask a
gonna say.
fellow Wubblin, just come, get back here. You're done. Easy peasy.
All right. Next up from Fat Cat Greg Boy.
Are there any other
Three.
kinds of fat cats
No.
than Greg Boy?
Fat Cat Greg Boy 3221.
Oh, okay, there's
Yeah.
tons of them. Never
There's
mind.
tons. There's tons. In the thousands.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
All right.
What do the revived Celestials do after they are revived? Do they do anything? Like, in game, they just sing, but what do they do in the monster world?
I'll tell you one thing that they do. Monster and the David, could we cut to my camera, please? I'll show you one thing that they do.
Oh my!
They die.
Cancelled.
Yes, yeah. Ooh, cringe, awful. What is it? 2019.
I think I need to leave.
Right. Yes.
I need-
Well, yeah. You got to
can't-
evacuate out of there,
Can't
right?
associate with
So
this.
the revived Celestials, Celestials have a life cycle, right? That goes from young to adult to elder, and then sort of folds back on itself again, sort of generationally. They resurrect, they revive endlessly, and that's because they are these cosmic beings that were there for the genesis, the big clangor of the monster world. So in their young form, revived Celestials are kind of impetuous, childish. They like being silly. They like playing pranks. They love going on field trips, which, as we
Yes.
now know, are facilitated by Bookworm
yeah.
in sort of a scholarly, perhaps more teacherly role. But they love going to Club Box
They love going
in the
to
summer.
clubs.
That's a big deal. They love going, as all children love to do. They love going to clubs. Yes, but remember.
Oh, so sorry.
No, that's great.
No.
But remember that club box is not like a Human World Club.
No, absolutely
The,
not.
the worst that you can do there is dab, and everything's all good. It's all about the music, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's a safe, welcoming place for monsters of all walks of life.
Of course.
But that's one thing that they like to do. A lot of the rest of the time, they're sort of getting up to little mini adventures on Celestial Island itself.
Well, that's nice.
All right.
So these field trips are a big deal for them, right? They get to travel off island.
See
you know,
things.
what are we
Yeah.
gonna what are we gonna do?
Dance?
Yeah.
Dan?
Drink tropical slime, perhaps?
Oh, delicious, delicious.
Can't
yeah.
confirm.
Yeah, you don't want to do too many of those though, or you'll have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Faith by UK Gummus 6108.
These names, I don't know if these names are real. Of course they're real. Yes. All right. What do they have to say?
They
for
would like
themselves?
to know, how does a crepuscule walk? Does it flip upside down and use its fingers to walk?
How does a crepuscule
It's a great question.
walk? You know, I don't know that it does too much walking.
No?
But if it
Oh.
were, it would have to sort of get some leaning going, like
All
you know,
right.
sort of build up some momentum, and then basically go, ah, and then sort of skid
Yep.
a very short distance
I can
across
picture
the
it.
surface of Wublin Island.
Probably a pretty slow moving monster.
Yes, and that's why crepuscules tend to position themselves where the glow of the moon, the crepuscule, can shine upon crepuscule perfectly, and they just sort of tend to settle down, and then there they are. If they do have to move, it's a major ordeal.
Hopefully one of their friends helps them.
That's another thing too.
I'm sure
is
they got
that
lots of friends.
They're heavy. They are heavy. You know, I don't mind saying, and you know, they're very dense, and
Yes.
they're among the largest of the Wublins, right? Like they have a lot of volume, and that's because they have such a big drum,
That's right.
right? And so, would you need multiple Wublins to pick it up? It's sort of like a Pikmin moment, right? Where you need lots of other Wublins that are going. "Ah!"
Maybe they could grab onto the sticks on Screamoo's back.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Cooperation, collaboration. I like where your head's at, Monster and the Gen. All right, that's good. All right. What other questions do we have?
Well, I think we've got some live questions.
Oh,
Yes,
all right.
we
so
do.
buckle up.
All right, I'm ready.
From Kaplan86 Gamer, we have, now that Psychic Island now contains the Mind Boggle library, will Bookworm, or sorry, I can't roll my R's very well.
Just get really phlegmy with it.
I don't want to do it. I don't want-
Jamaican accent moment. Anyway,
I don't wanna do it.
Anyway, yes.
Now that, will Bookworm use the Skyship to deliver young monsters to Psychic Island for them to learn?
Oh, I love that idea. I love that idea. Yes, because the library. Now, of course, the librarial nature of Mind Boggle is sort of fleeting, right? It's sort of, as so many things with Eldritch nature, is sort of there one moment, gone the next kind of thing, right? Like, is it of this world or is it of another world kind of thing? And you can see some of Krovlath's cousins depicted in some of the ornamentation of the library itself. So the concern that I would have with such a plan, while it's a great plan, is by the time you got to Psychic Island, would you get there and go, where's the library? And they'd go, what library? And then you go, the library that was here last week. And then go, there hasn't been a library here for 40 years. and then the monsters would go, what are you talking about? And so then they would be mind boggled themselves. So it's one of those things where you have to pass through the mists, you have to navigate by the stars, you have to get there, and perhaps only Bookworm knows how to get there. So it will be important to have management of the Skyship, and maybe there will be a book club now that forms in the monster world, and all of those book-loving monsters can recommend different books to themselves, just like the very famous tome by noted bookworm literary figure Rylek Dubrome, The Lost Habits. Lost Habits, a very famous tome of the monster world. I have never opened it. I've never seen what's inside of it. I had a dream about it once. David, cut to me. I had a dream about it once. But that's it. That's all I have.
All right then.
I'm being a little boggly today. I,
I
hope you
love
guys
it.
don't
You're
mind.
really
Hey, are you-
boggling my
Oh,
mind.
yes,
Are
I
you
hope
all
so.
right?
Oh, I think he's
You
great.
good? All right.
I think.
Yes,
Yeah?
I think so. Now I'm boggled.
No.
I don't know what's going on. All right, do we have another question?
We sure do.
Yeah, exactly.
From Superstar 5699. While we wait, there's the camera.
Well, now David's boggled.
Everyone's boggled.
You know what? It's fitting. All right. Sorry. What was the question?
What genre of books does Bookworm prefer?
All.
All books.
All?
You've
heard
got
it here
to
first.
realize as the keeper of these books, as the page master.
And it sounds like they can read a lot of books with their hand
Oh,
tapping.
yeah,
Like, they
exactly.
can get through probably 10 books a day, maybe more.
Seasoned bookworms, talented ones, can do as Bookworm does and stack them there,
so
and then
smart.
strike, poof, and then the X-ray will go
That's so
all the way
smart.
down. Now, of course, this is also true of biblios, the toothed, fangy, book-like creatures that also find their way into the various shelves and nooks and crannies of the library
I did
on
notice
Psychic
that.
Island. So there's books, which are, those are fine for us.
a regular book.
Yes, that's just a book. But a biblio, you have to be careful.
I wouldn't want to
Sharp
go
teeth.
near one of those.
Sharp teeth. Yes.
You might get chomped.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you got to be careful.
Do you think it has a preferred genre, though?
No.
No?
If I had to, cosmic horror.
That makes sense. That checks
Yes,
out.
yes. It's sort of reading that gnarly looking book in game, right?
I see.
The Monstronomicon there.
Ah, yes.
Where who knows what's in that particular book?
I think only Bookworm knows.
Only Bookworm knows. Yeah.
All right. Next question from Mythical Handler. We all know that humans can travel to the monster world. But what would
Unfortunately,
happen
yes. But what would happen?
if a monster roamed free in the human world?
This sounds
think
like a
it-
Ben Sequitur.
I think I covered
It does. It does.
Scenarios
sound like
exactly
a Ben
like
sequitur.
this.
It
I
does
think-
sound like a Ben sequitur. I recall the great Boscus stampede of '61. They went crazy. They went
I
absolutely.
think there's still a pack out on the loose.
It's like this is a Jurassic World Dominion kind of situation.
Yes.
We just have to live with them. They're just part of the ecosystem now. No, we have successfully kept the lid on the monster world because different animals of different ecologies, sometimes they can disrupt
Yes.
the natural order. And putting on my Echoes of Eco hat for a second here and thinking of Vivain, preservation and conservation and trying to make sure that the natural world remains rich, biodiverse, stable is something that's also very important. So that herd of Boscus, maybe there's a few errant ones.
Perhaps. I know that they often
tromping around.
cause mechanical difficulties.
They do,
Yes.
they do. Although more recently, a far more sinister figure has emerged, that of Voidcorn, which is
I
which
forget?
the monsters are largely innocent, right? Any damage
Right.
that they cause is by accident. It's just because they are, not paying attention or focused on something else. But Voidcorn is something other.
Keeping our eyes peeled.
Voidcorn is the manifestation of all of your dark dreams.
Oh,
So
no.
Be careful. Be careful. So maybe Voidcorn is the one secretly unplugging server cables and crossing wires and generally causing all sorts of mechnical difficulties. So
And
I know
I'm here blaming the Boscus.
Eh,
the
well,
Boss guy?
we-
Boscuses.
Boscuses. I'd have to double check what the plural form is.
I like Boss
I think
guy.
both are acceptable. Boss guy
Yeah.
works well.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Watch out for Voidcorn.
Yeah, be careful.
From Aranus, we have, what would happen if a Wubbox were to pass through the prism gate? Would it become a prismatic or would it malfunction? It's a fair question.
Oh my gosh.
All that
That was the least
electricity.
flattering thing I've ever done. That's how boggled I was. If the Wubbox passed through a prism gate, now there's some timeline fuzziness there, right? Because of course the Wubbox was being developed in secret on in the pocket dimension back during the Era of Dawn of Fire, but those worlds did not cross over very cleanly. And then just at the very end of the Dawn of Fire, as the cataclysm was occurring, was when Galvanus sort of actioned the plan Wubbox and then placed them in all of their respective spots in order to aid in the great burden of the Colossals rescuing the broken apart pieces of the continent. If the Wubbox passed through the Prism Gate, because we've established that the Wubbox is the sort of synthetic combination of the 5 natural elements and fire, I don't know if even the Prism Gate would know what to do with that sort of information. Maybe there's a weird sort of thing going on because, like, we know that there are 6 color variants that come out of the Prism Gate, and with these 6 elements that are sort of rolling around inside of the genetic makeup of the Wubbox, maybe they would sort of cancel each other out, and Wubbox would just be like, I'm here. And the globes and everyone else, the optic globes and the residents of the Prism dimension would be like, well, transform, and Wubbox would be like, transform into what? This is me. This is me. So maybe they would cancel each other out. If perchance a prismatic Wubbox were to be possible, that's something I would love to see some Monster Piece fan art.
Me too.
Of. And there are some excellent fan-created Wubbox variants out there already that are very cool. But I can't recall having ever seen, and maybe it does exist, and if it does exist, send it to us.
Hashtag Monster Piece.
Hashtag Monster Piece, but show us what a prismatic Wubbox would look like. I think that's a very interesting, conjectural, theorizing kind of idea.
Absolutely. It really boggles the mind.
It certainly does.
I'm not going to get tired of these jokes.
No, they just keep lining themselves up, and we just have to knock them down, right?
Yep.
All right, Ben,
All
what
right.
you got there?
From Chrome.
Chrome.
Is he from the future where everything is chrome?
Oh my gosh, all shiny in chrome. What a day. What a lovely day. All right, what is it? Yep.
The stone sculpture on the Psychic Island skin, is that a relative of Bookworm or just someone who is the same species?
It is a bookworm itself. That is a bust of none other than Rilek Dubrome. Rilek Dubrome, that noted literary bookworm figure. What are you doing over there? I think there's some sort of shenanigans,
not.
tomfoolery.
Absolutely
Just
not.
All right.
Oh, nothing.
Me? Tomfoolery?
I know,
How
I
could you
know.
think that? Wowee.
All right, all right. Any other questions?
No. Perhaps.
You want to say this
I'm
one
going to
together?
ask half the question.
Okay.
Well, we can ask.
All right,
we
there's
can ask the whole
something
question.
weird
Oh,
going
you
on
think-
here.
We'll ask half the question.
Like, you do the first part, I'll do the second
Yeah.
Why are you
part?
trying to
Sure.
boggle me?
From generic Gen's.
Gen Z.
Yep. That's right.
Oh,
Gen
no,
Z
my
person,
worst
not
enemy.
Gen's person.
Okay.
Generic Gen Z person.
Was Monster Handler Matt's dab cringe?
Or is he goated with the sauce?
Goated with the sauce, Duh. Duh, you know that expression that's still relevant? Duh. Maybe it's like 25, 30 years old, I don't know. Anyway, no, it was not cringe. Only when children do it is it cringe. When a respected figure in the Monster Handler community does it, it's a work of beauty. I'll do it again for you. No.
Why don't we
I
all
mean,
do it at once?
Which way are we going? I don't want to punch you in the face.
What? Oh, let's all dab? Is that what you're saying?
Let's go
Okay,
this
let's
way.
let's all
Are we going
go
this way?
that way. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Very good. Okay. YouTube has specific analytics for cringeometer, and I'm
Sorry.
sure,
That went
I'm
off
sure
the
we
charts.
just went off the charts.
Yep.
I
Anyway,
ruined all of our careers.
yes.
in unison.
Okay. So, that's our question period for today.
Sure
next
is.
up on our agenda for the show today, we have our featured showcase
Yeah, we
of
do.
monster pieces.
Yeah, we're bringing monster pieces back.
Oh, I love
today
that.
by
I love that.
popular
Hey.
demand.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we have the list here, but
Yeah.
Monster and the David, I believe, is just queuing them up here. Okay,
Ooh.
here we go. Our very first one here is this beautiful fir-corn clay sculpture by Istai.
Isn't it so cute? I love the
I love
way
it.
that they sculpted the branch on
Yes,
top of
yes,
Furcorn's
its
head.
headstock has a lot of
Yes.
personality.
It does. Almost looks like it's asking a question.
It does. Do you have a question, little fir-corn?
Was that dab
Monster
cringe?
Handler Matt's dab cringe?
Oh, we went for the same
All
joke.
right, never mind, Furcorn. You can pass along. It's a beautiful piece of art, though. Istai, thank you for sending it in to us, and keep your comments to yourself. Keep your stupid comments in your pocket. Okay, next up, by Treble Stroke Oh, this is okay. Here's this is so cute, but it's still kind of cursed.
Yeah.
It's upright Creepuscule. This is Creepuscule flipped on its back.
I think it's kind of cute
Yeah,
though.
It is totally cute.
It looks like a turtle meets a brachiosaurus.
Very much so. You've got that sort of S curve in the neck that you see in so many birds and in some reptiles as well, I believe. But I think the reason we never see Creepuscule like this is that it would be very difficult to access its musical instrument.
Also,
Right, it's
probably
using
to
its-
get up.
Oh yeah. How would you
I
ever do this in the first place? It's so cute though.
Yeah.
Like I will say,
is.
this is unexpectly cute, Trouble Stroke. So thank you
Great
for sending
job.
that in. And
One of the questions.
Yeah, it did. It
Oh.
answered
Yeah.
the question.
there you go. So okay, I guess you don't need me on the show anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
You can just look at the monster pieces. Is that what you're saying? No, I'm kidding. Trouble Stroke, excellently well done. Beautiful work. Next up from Scream You Ribbons. Look at this. We've
They're
got
having
some.
like a tea party.
Yes, and the first of the adult Celestials is sort of presiding over the tea party there. We've got adult Skartar. Perhaps adult Skartar is the one that brewed the tea themselves.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Got to make sure that it did not drop any poison in the tea.
No.
But Skartar sort of more deals with antidotes.
True.
than
I mean,
it does with-
Hornicle looks really surprised that Skartar made the tea for him.
Yes, and Plixie
Yes.
seems to be spilling its
Yeah.
tea.
Maybe
Oh,
that's why Hornicle
Spill the tea,
stopped.
Plixie. Yeah, who knows what conversation is taking place in this Scream You Ribbons work of art. But you know what I like about this as well? It depicts Celestial Island at night.
Yeah.
Which is a time that we don't often see
That is really nice.
depicted. We just sort of have that sort of twilight, sort of non-day night time
right.
that it depicts. That
That's
it's
some really
depicted
nice
in.
shading as well.
It is beautiful.
I feel like I'm there.
Yes, and
Yes.
and the aroma wafting up from the tea
I can
that,
almost
that is in front of Skartar there is wonderful. Galvana resting nicely on its orb, on its sphere. Well done, Scream You Ribbons. Next up from
Ooh.
Canis Mogan, maybe I'm saying that correctly. Who knows? If I'm not, I apologize. We have a wonderful picture of Weasel. Here's Weasel.
It's great.
Weasel,
It's
always
spot on.
yes,
Yeah.
has always been very wubliny in my estimation, and that's even referred to in its bio, I believe, where
Even its
it
color
looks.
palette feels like it fits.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, that's Weasel. That's not Weasel. That's his imagination for you,
right.
right? Of course, it would draw from something as zany as the supernatural family of Wublins, but.
Makes sense.
Beautifully well done. Great line work. You know, this could appear in the Exploratory Compendium of Monsterology.
could.
It's so faithful a sketch,
It could.
right?
I agree.
Very well done, Canis Mogan. Next up, from
Ooh.
Sousa, my beloved, a beautiful drawing of adult Skartar. Now, I know a lot of folks have been commenting on Skartar's ears. They've been
Yes.
going,
Yes.
those ears are freaking me out. Excuse me.
They gotta be
They
up
are
here.
very cute. I'm sorry to say, but your opinion is wrong. They're very cute, and I
It
think
is
Susan, my
cute.
beloved, has done an excellent job here of capturing the cuteness. Now, of course, connected with this cuteness, and a lot of folks have picked up on this as well, is that for these adult Celestials, yes, we're calling them their adult phase of their life, but for creatures, for beings as long-lived as the Celestials, this is kind of the awkward teen phase.
So they're growing
Yeah,
into
okay,
the
yeah.
ear.
Exactly, and it's got
Perhaps.
the nice heterochromia going on.
But it looks like they
Beautiful
can
color.
maybe hear a bit more. You see those exclamations coming out?
Yes, and you know, I see a little critter there, a little bug that is alighting perhaps upon one of Skartar's hands. It kind of reminds me of the color scheme of sky painting, to be honest
Oh,
with
yeah.
you, and the redecorated
Okay.
Phosphora Titan. But Susan, my beloved, is this a new creation of yours, or am I just failing to recognize what that little creature is? Because it's very cute, and I'd love to learn more about the backstory
me too.
behind this monster piece. In any event, it's absolutely wonderful. It's
It is.
absolutely wonderful. Okay, next up by Kitsu Flame, or Flame, or Flam, we have Candelabra and Edamame.
I don't know what's going on here. I feel like Candelabra is maybe telling a really exciting story to Edamame, but Edamame looks a little confused.
Yes, sort of apprehensive. It looks like Candelabra here is like using its ability to sort of generate those flames that erupt from its wrists, from its palms, and is using it to sort of like illustrate a point, like you're saying, or explain one particular thing. They're getting so excited that it's getting that the heat's turning up.
Yeah.
And Edamame's like, that's nice, but keep that away from my green parts, please.
Right? Well, you don't want to cook those peas.
Exactly. Definitely do not.
You know what I get from this?
What?
That one meme where that person is like over explaining something in a concert.
Oh.
Oh, could this be a monster meme?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I do think that Edamame is being more of an attentive listener than
Yeah.
typically the people are depicted in those memes.
I
where
suppose.
they're sitting there and just like someone's yammering on at them about whatever. I believe you did a meme
I
like that.
believe
with
we
Sandra
did.
Tyson,
We d-
right?
We did.
Yes,
We did.
Tyson is explaining something to you, and you are.
And I'm just like-
you're on another world.
Yep.
But either way, look how cute these characters are.
They are
Adorable. Love
very
the big
cute.
eyes.
Yes.
Love the
they are.
color.
They are absolutely, and it's cool because they're kind of like a baby chibi form, but I believe this
Yeah.
depicts them in their adult forms.
V cute.
Yes,
V
so
cute.
very, very, very cute. Okay, our final monster piece for today, whoa,
Ooh.
comes from Mutant J, and it is a depiction of the last two epic Wubbox that were discovered basically this week last year. The water and earth versions of the epic Wubbox.
I really feel like it's two worlds colliding and amalgamating,
I
and I really
agree.
like that.
I agree, and you can see all of the bubbles erupting from the water one, the steamworks coming off of the earth one. You can see that one of the fists of the earth one is sort of opened up. It's sort of mechanical construction zone kind of imagery is really on full display here, and it's really very cool.
Just two pals hanging out.
Yeah. Well done, Mutant J. And to date, that is the last we've heard
Yeah.
of Epic Wubbox.
Right. It's been pretty quiet.
It has been quiet for an awfully long time. I wonder if we'll ever find any more. I don't know. Nah.
Oh.
Bah. Anyway, thank you so much for sending in your monster pieces. If you'd like to have your artwork, your creation featured on a future episode of My Sing Monsters Live, please post it to social media and include the hashtag
Monsterpiece.
and that'll let us, the monster handlers, know that you'd like us to consider it for inclusion on a show. We get so many amazing pieces of artwork,
Yes, we do.
and typically we try and pull from ones that are maybe relevant to the theme of that particular broadcast, as is the case with the Crepuscules and the adult Celestials that we were looking at. So it could be that it takes some time for your art to be featured, but don't worry, we keep them all in a big trove,
We
and
do.
we look at them and we try and feature them both on social media and here on My Singing Monsters Live.
And in the office. On
And
our
in the
board.
office on our fan art wall. Yes. Okay. Before we wrap things up, of course, we've, as promised, we've got more to chat about what's coming, both with the launch of Mind Boggle and the first weekend of special offers and promotions
Hear there's some
coming
juicy
right
stuff
up.
coming up.
So the first thing that I wanted to tackle, of course, is that starting today, we've got our August Quintessence promotion of the featured vessel set. So, who do we got? We got Flower, we got Ruditude, we got Bisonorous, and we got Bowhead, and of course, as voted on by you, the Handler Helper community, Candelabra also rounds this out. I believe this is our first vessel set that contains 2 quints. I think since we launched this new system in May, there haven't been too many of them, obviously, but I think, I could be totally wrong with that, and maybe we've done it before.
Well, someone's
But-
going to tell you.
they'll tell me right away. But this is a perfect final vessel set to enjoy during this period of time before anniversary month, during which maybe something different will happen, like I don't know, whatever happened last year, as in like all the anyway. So take advantage of this promotion, this August sale of Quintessence, and get those monsters that you're missing. And of course, now's your time to pick up an extra Bisonorous if you're looking to evolve the rare Bisonorous in your Crucible. There's no time like the present. This next one, I know a lot of folks have been wondering about this one because they were looking at those flex eggs in adult Scaritar's inventory and going, when am I going to chance to get fairy element rares? Well, tomorrow. That's when you're going to have it. And it's a perfect thematic tie-in, of course, because what do fairies exist in? Fairy tales. Fairy tales.
Fun.
And what are fairy tales? What is the format, the transmission method typically of fairy tales? They're in a book. And when are we celebrating books? Mine.
Right now.
Hey.
Did you like that narrative through line there? So, take a look. We've got not just the double fairy element rares that will be needed for the flex eggs in the inventory, but we've also got rare Bridget and we've got rare Flute Fly as well. We didn't want them to feel left out. And who's that? Who are those ominous eyes peering in from the fog? Well, you might recognize from the heterochromia who that is. I won't say any more. You can piece it together yourselves. But that's the first promotion that's kicking off tomorrow on the first weekend. The second one, of course, to help get your rare Creepuscule up and running is our State of Shock promotion, in which featured rares are available to buy or breed in the market on their respective islands. This ought to help you along if you're looking for that rare Creepuscule.
It's a very ominous eye in the back.
It is,
Yes.
but it
Very friendly.
It is. It's going, "Ooh, I can't wait," as opposed to "I'm going to eat you up" or something more sinister than that. No. It's just watching from afar, metaphorically.
That's right.
Yes. Metaphors, they exist in books.
They do. It's all coming together.
It is all coming together. Books, you'll find that they contain everything. So you can trace everything back to books at some point. So, this is our last My Singing Monsters live until that most special of times of the year, anniversary month. I would like to remind the Handler Helper community that at the beginning of September, we're doing something very exciting, very special. Big Blue Bubble and My Singing Monsters are headed to PAX West.
That's right.
Yes.
And a number of monster handlers will be there. We've got some exciting stuff planned at our booth. You're going to want to make sure to, if you're in the neighborhood, or if you're looking for something to do with your vacation time, you got some time on that Labor Day long weekend,
Great
to head on
vacation.
down to Seattle
Yeah.
and join the monster handlers for what promises to be a very exciting and special time.
No kidding.
We'll have more
Yeah.
information, of course, in the coming weeks that provides more details and that you can look forward to. But this is, of course, a perfect opportunity to plug being a follower on our various social media platforms, because, of course, if you're not, you might miss this critical information.
You don't want to miss
No,
it.
you
It
don't
might be
want
middle of
Don't wanna
September,
miss it.
and you're going, well, when are they doing that thing? And then we'll have to say, it's already gone. We've already gone past it.
I think it's worth also saying there's going to be some fun interactive things, I believe, that are coming up.
Interactive?
Yeah.
You might get some cool gear, maybe some sneak peeks.
Swag.
I've heard rumored.
Sneak peeks.
I don't know what it is.
At what?
I am not privy to that information.
What could it possibly
but,
be?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
See?
No. What?
We have to stand by and
I
wait.
blanked out. No. What?
So, stay tuned. It'll be an exciting time. I can't wait
No, me
personally.
either.
And I've got one more piece of housekeeping.
Oh?
One more piece of housekeeping for our Handler Helper community. Thank you, David, for bringing the camera to me directly. I would like to remind all members of our community that from the concept artists through to the animators, to the composers, to the programmers, to the quality assurance, to the customer support, to the administrative team at Big Blue Bubble, we work very, very hard to bring you guys exciting, cool updates all the time. And we also work very hard when we are setting up and creating the special first looks and releases of these monsters. So, please be respectful of all the hard work that goes into the making of My Singing Monsters, and let us share the excitement, the debuts, the first looks of these things with as many people as possible. We do work very hard to make these special experiences for you, like our trailers, like our showcases, like My Singing Monsters Live, like everything that we do that connects to My Singing Monsters. So please be respectful of that and of your fellow handler helpers who may want to not be spoiled as to the looks and sounds of upcoming unreleased content. That's it. That's all I got. And I think that'll be especially relevant moving forward as we prepare for anniversary month. So, you know who you are, behave yourselves, and think of the helpers. Think of the handler helpers.
handlers.
Yeah.
And the
The
handlers.
handlers are so sad.
Yes, we do get sad and
Do you
disappointed.
want to make Ben
in that.
cry? I don't think so.
Don't do it.
No.
There he is. He's already breaking down. Okay.
No, I'm better.
Wow. All right. And you're better because you know that the community
Yes.
will do better.
That's right.
Right?
Please,
Yes.
do it for me.
Do it for Ben. Please.
Please.
You don't even have to do it for me. Do it for Jen. Do it for Ben. Do it for everybody. Do it for all of our hardworking monster handlers here at Big Blue Bubble. Okay, that's all I got. Just a quick appeal from Monster Handler Matt. Like I said, this is our last My Singing Monsters Live. Can you believe it? Anniversary year has whipped by.
We've done so many of
It's
these.
been
Yes.
so cool. I'll tell you something that I can reveal. I'm looking forward to the release of our 11th anniversary monument, which will join the preceding 10 during anniversary
How
month, because
exciting.
along its sides will be etched those major moments from this year that we wanted to highlight and pull out. So I'm really excited to see what that will look like when it releases, as we reminisce on the magic, the splendor, the drama, the grandeur of anniversary year as it comes to a close.
That's right.
Thank you so much for joining us today on My Singing Monsters Live. We really appreciate you tuning in. I'm Monster Handler Matt,
Monster Handler Jen.
Monster Handler Ben.
and we'll see you again very soon for our 11th anniversary. But until such time,
Happy monstering!